Assalamualaikum and hi. Today, we would like to present and discuss on factors affecting exchange rate of Mexico. Hope you enjoy the video.
Next, let's move to the factors that affect exchange rate of Mexico. Firstly is inflation. The economic history of Mexico over the past few decades shown that exchange rate movements have been highly correlated with the country's inflation rate. The inflation rate reached its highest level in 2017 since 2008. The real shock on the inflation rate in 2017.
Next, we move to the second factor, which is interest rate. The economic history of Mexico over the decades has shown that exchange rate movement have a high correlation with national interest rates. Interest rates had peaked in 2005, and the analysis showed that the following year there had been a gradual decline. This shown that in 2005 was a real shock at the highest interest rate ever recorded in Mexico.
The economic history of Mexico over the decades shows that exchange rate movement have a high correlation with the manufacturer. According to the analysis shows that the manufacturer rate has reached the highest level in 2021, and the analysis shows that the following year has seen a high increase since 2002. This shows that in 2021 is the highest real shock compared to the other years in the rate of manufacturer in the country of Mexico. Mexico economic history for decades shows that exchange rate movement have a high correlation with uncertainty in the Mexican state. This uncertainty is referred to as one of the wage function of the magnitude of past movement in the nominal exchange rate of the national equilibrium. According to the analysis shows that in 2018 is the highest real shock compared to the other years on the rate of uncertainty in country of Mexico. Next, we move to the next part, which is analysis in the study. The first one is descriptive analysis. Each variable have 20 set of data, which represent the annual data for 20 years. Inflation is the value of Mexican peso on average of 4.248927 for every US dollar. Therefore, the average interest rate for Mexican peso over 20 years in 5.773583. Correlation is statistic that measure the degree in which two circulators more in relation to each other. A perfect positive correlation means that the correlation coefficient is exactly 1. This implies that SR security more either up or down, the other security move in the same direction. A perfect negative correlation means that the two assets move in opposite direction, and while a zero correlation implies no linear relationship at all. Now, let me explain on the correlation analysis table. For inflation, the correlation are negative relationship with interest rate, while manufacturer and uncertainty is moderate positive.
Multiply regression model summary. The value for R square is 0.992, that approximately 99.20% of the exchange rate of Mexico is explained by 4 factors.
The next one is a coefficient. The value of this statistic is suggesting that the manufacturer have a positive significant impact on the exchange rate, thus rejecting the null hypothesis and accepting the alternative hypothesis, while inflation, interest rates, and uncertainty has insignificant effect on the exchange rate and the null hypothesis accepted.
Next, ANOVA. As you can see, the p-value is more than alpha level, which is 0.05. So we fail to reject the null hypothesis and conclude the sample data does not support alternative hypothesis. This means inflation, interest rate, manufacturer, and uncertainty do not have any significant difference in explaining the variation in the exchange rate of Mexico peso.
The conclusion is inflation, interest rate, manufacturer, and uncertainty has affected the exchange rate Mexico peso.